Well, Tamina Williams joins us now. He is the chairman of Okrika Local Government Area in Rivers State. Morning, and thank you for coming in today.
Oh yeah, good morning.
Well, having listened to what he's talked about there, let's start from the fact that he says there was no subsisting court judgment in the first instance before the Abuja verdict, that High Court verdict that brought in Obua Group.
I think he spoke to the point of what he knew. You know, last time I came, I appeared on this program. I showed you the document, a certified document copy of the court judgment. It was subsisting. It was among the processes that were filed during the matter before the court in Abuja. So there was no issue that it was not there. But I don't want to go into the merits of that judgment any longer because it's already on appeal. But the appeal court will look at all the processes before it, you know, very clearly. To look at very clearly. So there was a subsisting court judgment, and the court was aware of it. That document is among several other documents that the court did not look at. We recall that there was also before the court a video recording of the proceedings of that convention, which was not looked at. So these are not the issues we are talking about now. The issue is that the court has given judgment. I won't sit here to disparage the court. Let the court of appeal look at the judgment, based on the fact before it. In the first instance, we mentioned that, look, you shouldn't have even, the process was different. Now, it's a matter that there are issues in contention, hot issues in contention. One was that, was there actually a convention? Where was the convention held? And there was an argument, look, a man came for, look, that these papers before you, Honorable Justice, they were forged. A crime was alleged. And you go ahead to determine the matter through an originating summons. Because
part of what he said was, he said he's a member of the PDP, and that he knows how they do all those things.
No. He's not a member. Look, Mr. Oka contested House of Rest position in 2011 against Andrew Chendo. He lost. He's a bad loser.
On the platform of?
On ACN.
But he says he's now a member of the PDP.
These are the issues that, get me, perplexed. You were a member of ACN, you contested election, Andrew Uchendu won him blue and black. So he is a man who has come here and beat. He's a bad loser. He's not a member of it. Look, the PDP chairman of the local government, if I call him, he's not a member. We have a register of our members. He may be a new member under Obua. I won't dispute that. Because there may be a new membership drive. But what we know, that Mr. Oka is not a member. But he could join. But very clearly, he was on the platform of ACN, contested and lost.
He did not deny that.
Yeah. So at what point did he turn to join PDP? And these facts will be, of course, proved by the chairman of his party. So what I know is that, look, he was the press secretary. In fact, he was brought by the governor himself to become president in Rivers State. He was brought, he's a Lagos-based lawyer.
What happened when he was brought?
He was brought. He was press secretary under the former governor. Later became commissioner under Omeya. And of course, you know that the Supreme Court judgment that actually brought Governor Amaechi back to power, removed him from office. So if you look at the circumstance surrounding him, he has a grudge, a personal grudge. When a man has a grudge, the fact becomes distorted.
But was this Ake group imposed? Because that's what he alleged.
That's why I wish that you play the recording of the proceedings. I was there. As chairman of council of Okrika LGA, I went with my delegates. Honorable Vance Mipi of Ogubolo was there. Joseph was there. If you play it, you will see them. They made their comments commending the convention and how peaceful it went. So there was no issue that we didn't hold convention. They're talking about that some other persons were winners. And if you go to the affidavit from the beginning, there was nowhere they mentioned where their own convention was conducted. They merely said there was a convention. So the point is that even the PDP national is aware that there was a convention. But these are part of things that surprise that, in a country in this 21st century, you can just foist upon a state, upon a nation, a people who did not in anywhere take part in a convention. You know, it startles me. And you know what? It goes to rock the foundation of our morals. If government, a party structure can just come from the blues, then what will it give across to people?
What exactly is going on in Obiakwo local government area?
Well, the Obiakwo case is simple. The House of Assembly suspended the chairman of the council and the councillors.
Do they have the power to do that?
I wish I came with the law. The Rivers State local government law empowers the House of Assembly to do that. Now, if you say you don't have the powers, what do you do next? Section 6 of the Constitution that, look, if your right is likely to be infringed upon, or you go to court, and they're in court. Then, why do you now begin to lay siege? They were suspended. Soon after, the police went and sealed up the Council Secretariat.
Why were they suspended?
Okay. No, they were suspended based on information that there were allegations of the petition against the council chairman and the councillors. And that they were suspended to enable the House of Assembly investigate.
We understand that these people were not even called forward, to come and give their side of the story before they were suspended.
See, when you follow a law, when a law is enacted, you have a choice to say this law is a bad law, and you begin to ask for its repeal or amendment. This law was enacted over 2 years ago, and we're all operating the law. Today it is applied to Party A. You now complain, you now grumble. But if you don't like the law, if you feel that your right has been infringed upon, what do? You go to court. You recall that Amaechi was unlawfully excluded from his race.
I don't understand. The law does not allow for them to come to the House of Assembly and give their side of the story?
Look, the law is that the House of Assembly has the right to suspend while investigation commences.
Yeah, but while the investigation, the principle of natural justice...
They'll be invited. You must invite them. You must give them fair hearing. They will come. They take the first step, suspension. The next step, come appear before the assembly and defend yourself. They may even be found not to be a culpable.
But they have been punished.
No.
If you don't regard suspension in that regard as punishment?
It's not a punishment. It's a procedure. If you're suspected of holding a substance on you, the police can invite you, all right, and then search you. Freedom is not total. So that's the point I'm making.
Why is it that it's the State House of Assembly that is conducting the investigation, but they have councils and they also have their own sitting? So how does it work?
I wish I could read the law to you. The law says that, when you look at the 1999 Constitution, that the State House of Assembly is to make law for the local government council, the principal law, and that's the Rivers State local government law. All states have that law, but they may not be in parliament in terms of powers of assembly. But in our own law, that is the provision. But taking the point beyond that threshold, you have an avenue to ventilate your right. If it was wrong, the court can say this law is bad. You are wrongfully suspended, so even ask for compensation. But the question is that, what are the issues that are flowing from it? One, the police ordered the closure of a government. The Obiakwo local government was closed down. As I speak to you now, you may not have people's salaries. You understand? Health workers will not go to work. There is a seizure of activities there.
That is why I think if you look at some of the tweets, for instance, this one we just got here from Cherry, I think she's almost speaking the minds of a whole lot of Nigerians. The question is, what truly is happening in Rivers State? You get to talk about Obiakwo, you get to talk about the PDP. Now we're getting to hear about the siege of the council and even the assembly and a whole lot, and a potpourri of issues. And, well, yesterday, Mr. Oka also told us how people's certificate of occupancy have been revoked by the governor because, well, they're not, well, in good terms with him. So it's a mixed bag of issues in Rivers to the extent that you really can't put your hand on what truly is the main cause. Can you tell us what is the true cause of this whole crisis in Rivers State?
Now, the true cause is political. It's political. Now, the first issue is that most politicians who feel that they cannot have access to the treasuries of Rivers State, either from within or from without, are scared, worried and stampeded into taking action to say they can wrestle power away from the governor of Rivers State.
You say the treasuries.
But he has just one, this is his last term. So
No.
how can they wrestle power, but he doesn't have a third term?
You heard Mr. Oka yesterday. He talked about his succession plan. He said it here. So he is here alleging that the governor has a succession plan. So all the gamut of activities from Port Harcourt to Abuja is geared towards unsettling the peace, good governance in Rivers State. To wit, creating an environment where they could lawfully, unlawfully push the governor away from office. Now, I can tell the steps. The first step was this. You recall that the governor's first issue was on the issue of oil wells. That Rivers oil wells were unlawfully transferred to another state. And you can't expect a governor to sleep and not protect the wealth of his people. The Calabari chiefs protested to Abuja that no, we can't take this. As I speak to you, that matter has not been rectified, in spite of it being in a court of law. The state is losing funds to another state. Again, we also know, because we've compared notes, that there's a decline of a lot of resources to Rivers State. We hear the issue of Akwa Ibom. Even that there's a current one where we need to pay, maybe who knows, arrears from 1979 of proceeds to Rivers State. That's the first point. The second point is that some people feel that the governor maybe is becoming too popular and may run for election. Of course, he has the right to run for any position. So that has created friction between the governor and Abuja. Then add up the issue of governor's forum issue. Now let me tell you, if you read through the governor, if you look at the governor's forum's proceedings, the governor of Rivers State it's not the governor's forum, you know. It's just the chairman of governor's forum. And he's only to speak the voice, the views of the forum. And often they have communicate at the end of the sittings.
So, are you saying these are the fundamental reasons why
these are the foundational
Rivers
issues.
State is experiencing...
They're the foundational issues.
But he also said yesterday, Mr. Oka, that look, there was a sea of heads to receive the Obua group when they arrived in Port Harcourt after that judgment. And so if everyone was on the same page, as you say, you won't see lots of people like that.
You will see. If you want me to bring to Channels Television 20 million people, I will bring. Have you forgotten